Actual text from Enrique Tarrio is up. I want to talk a little bit about what Enrique Tarrio is up to and what he's saying, because he, of course, was one of the individuals related to the January 6th Capitol riots, who ended up getting convicted of sedition, was given 22 years in prison, but he has since been pardoned by Trump. So
yes, he has. Yeah, shout out to Enrique and Tarrio. I'm glad to hear this wonderful news. I hope he's home with his family doing well. I hope he's gotten a good meal and got some good rest and relaxed. I've heard so many different kind of, rumors about this guy. There's times where they tell me that he's a Fed, he's not a Fed, whatever. I know how this country works, and I know how deep the blackmail goes in this country, and I know what has their shackles on this country, okay? So I am not mad at Enrique and Tarrio for being home. I always call him Enrique Tarrio for being home. I think that there was a serious disservice done to him, and I'll also say that you guys need to check out your Patriot Act. Remember the Patriot Act that was sent to you to tell you after 9/11 that they're going to save you from Muslims, and a lot of conservatives had nothing to say about this. It was Glenn Greenwald who's going off like, this is crazy, the kind of surveillance we've just allowed in this country, okay? Nobody said anything because we was getting the Muslims, right? Well, it's the same Patriot Act they're using on you today, and they're not done yet. Don't get it twisted. January 6th is just the beginning, okay? And so we let that marinate. But yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad that these people are home. I'm not mad at all. Like, I'm mad that they were in jail as long as they were.
Who ended up getting convicted of sedition, was given 22 years in prison, but he has since been pardoned by Trump. So turns out that both Enrique Tarrio, the leader of the Proud Boys, and Stewart Rhodes, who is the founder of the Oath Keepers, are both asking for retribution now that Donald Trump has pardoned them and freed them from prison after their involvement in the January 6th Capitol riots. Tarrio had been convicted of sedition and was sentenced to 22 years, but now he's free because of the Trump pardon.
Yes,
now,
he should be. She keeps saying that like it's a bad thing. By the way, guys, please don't forget to the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to see me go radical like this right here, I remember this case. I don't remember every single detail, but I read through this case, and all he was saying was like, we did this, boys, or whatever and stuff. So what? That he was tweeting, he was a little excited. Oh, whoop-de-doo. 22 years for being excited about something, right? And then you want to tell me, oh, well, he was a Fed. If he was a Fed, 22 years for being a Fed? That's even worse. So wait a minute, I work with you guys, and then I still go to jail. Like, how does that happen? No. I do not at all. I do not give this any kind of nuance at all. I don't. I still feel the same way I do the day that it happened as far as arresting people and putting them in jail. It should have never happened. And let me say this. Trump should have pardoned those people before he left office. Why didn't he? They should have never did 4 years in jail. Why didn't he pardon those people? But you have to ask yourself that, right? I'm sure he wanted to, right? What is over the president that makes him can't be an agency to himself? Like, this isn't about one of those we have systems in place here. What is it that makes the president can't just say, yo, send them back home? I'm pardoning them now. Okay.
Now, Tarrio said on the day of his release, quote, success is going to be retribution. He said, of those who investigated and prosecuted the Capitol riot, the people who did this, they need to feel the heat. They need to be put behind bars, and they need to be prosecuted. Yeah. Similarly, Stewart Rhodes with the Oath Keepers says, if they committed any crimes, they should be prosecuted. The same exact system that we went through, put them through. And by the way, if any of them have committed crimes, yes, absolutely. There shouldn't be a two-tier justice system. But based on their framing, this is really about retribution because they don't like the fact that they were prosecuted for their role in January 6th.
So I wonder how the justice system for these so-called leftists seemed to work when they want it to work, right? I got to hear all the time that the justice system isn't fair. Fine. You could say that. I believe you. I do believe you. because you can indict a ham sandwich. That's crazy, right? But when it comes to things like this, so when it comes to things like this, the justice system was so immaculate because certainly we couldn't have white supremacists just being put in jail for no reason, even though, by the way, I mean, Enrique must be the most darkest white person I've ever seen in my life. And you know the point that I'm making. Okay? So tell me, so there wasn't an injustice done to them? Hey, yo, I couldn't last 15 minutes behind bars, let alone 4 or 5 years.
So Rhodes said that they may hang up his spurs when asked about the future of the Oath Keepers. Tarrio, however, told the media to stop calling him the ex-leader of the Proud Boys. I assume because he considers himself the current leader of the Proud Boys.
Yeah, good. I'm sorry, guys. I know I keep stopping the video, but this is just one that really bothers me.
Proud Boys. So, Cenk, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think Timothy Pulliam, who's a YouTube member, has a good question. Why did Trump pardon 1,500 Antifa feds? So is anybody on the right going to go back and ask the Tucker Carlsons and the other right-wing hosts that claimed that they were Antifa or federal officers, hey, why did Trump pardon those guys if they're Antifa? I say it's such a great point by Timothy. Love how smart our audience is.
Stop glazing your audience after you've attacked your audience by calling them radical, okay? And that was a dumb point. You guys argue semantics so much. No. People said there were bad actors there. The same way I'll say that there's bad actors at a Palestinian rally. You see what I'm saying? We just can't have the same standards because God forbid white people, right? Yo.
So, guys, I don't know what's going to happen in the future with all these folks. Are they a little chastened because they had to spend a good amount of time in prison? Or do they feel anger? Well, that's very likely. And want to do something else, something worse? I don't know. But what I do know is the next time that if Trump calls for them to do violence again, well, then we're in a world of hurt. And the country will devolve, and it'll.
That's why, people like you really make me so sick. Trump didn't call for them to do violence. Look how you people report. You report on your emotions, okay? That's what you do. And maybe I'm doing a little bit of that right now, but that's because I'm defensive to the fact. Number one, you can't tell me there's not bad actors. Why did some of these people already have gas masks on? These people don't. They're not going in too, by the way. Right? I remember the cops who told people to go in. I'll never forget that. Because my first thought was, wow, the cops must really love Trump. You can't find that footage anymore. But I remember it like it was yesterday. And this fool tells you Trump told them to do violence again. And what's going to happen? Well, okay. Keep reporting like that. I mean, look, it is what it is, right? People do stuff for content. It is what it is. We'll just leave that there. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.